Feliz Navidad! Merry belated Christmas and happy belated New Year. I know I really didn't make a Christmas video or anything like that. That's because I was just busy, enjoying the holidays and really just enjoying the more important moments of life. And I feel like the last few years for all of us, at least for me, it has really just showed me just how important living in the moment, living in the now is. And that's what I was doing, so I apologize for that. But if you can't tell, based on Christmas, a few changes. I got a new TV that is 10 inches bigger now. I think it's 42.5. It's funny because on one part of the box it said 42.5 like on the back of it, but then the actual label, like the big label, said 43. So I don't know. I had to measure it. Weird. And then also I moved a few things around, and I was able to get all three, for the first time ever, all three of my consoles in one room. You got the GameCube on the left over there. In the middle is the PlayStation. And that PlayStation, that's in the middle is the PlayStation. In the middle is the Xbox, which is newly up here. And then on the left here, on the camera's left anyway, or it could be flipped, I really know. My left is the PlayStation. So that's very nice. I also got new wireless headphones, as always a charging stand where I'm going to use my phone to demonstrate. Say the stand's here, you just put it on like this, and then it charges. It's actually really cool. I actually like it. Technology is nutty. But let's get into the title of this video, and this is the story that I wanted to tell, but I didn't know how to tell it, but I think I figured it out. This happened back when I was at school. A long time ago. I was like in 2nd or 3rd grade, so that would be a good, 15 years ago at least. It was I'm trying to think of the years. So, between 15 and 17 years ago, approximately. I don't really remember. It was so long ago, but so I was in math class. And keep in mind, I'm not very good at math. That's always been one of my weakest subjects. I was like that in anything math related in science. Not science as a whole. Certain parts of science are better than the others, but as far as the math aspects of science, I was just never good at that. So anyway, so I was in math class. It was I think it was 2nd grade. I believe it was 2nd grade, if I recall. I don't know why the light was just flickering, but so I was in 2nd grade. And we were talking about the aliens, the way they go up. So you got a million, stop flickering, a million, a billion, a trillion, and so on and so forth. It keeps going up. So then they asked us, what is the 4th one? That is quadrillion. And what is the 5th one? That is quintillion. But then something happened that became infamous, as you could say, because then we were asked what comes after a quintillion. And I was kind of a nerd back then. Technology wasn't nearly as good as all the stuff you're seeing now. So I was way more bored back then. I actually, believe it or not, would go on the family computer, because stuff we had at the time. We all shared a computer. And I actually would look up that stuff. For whatever reason, I was fascinated by it by then. It was way easier to get bored back then, as you can imagine if you're the newer generation. And so I knew the answer to it, and I'm not going to say it because, well, I don't need this video to get age restricted, but this is really the answer. I am not lying. I'm going to put it right here at the bottom. This is the answer. Yeah, so you can see where the problem began. So, keep in mind, I'm in 2nd grade. I don't know what that is. I am way too young. Why would a 2nd grader know what that is? If a 2nd grader knows what that is, that's clearly on the parents. Because back then, I should say, I was not saying back in my day, or what am I? Back then, the internet wasn't nearly as prevalent. You could have looked that stuff up like you can now. So kids at the time like me were way more sheltered from those adult topics than it is now, than you would be now. So I didn't know what that was. I just knew the answer because I was a nerd that researched that stuff for whatever reason back then. So I raised my hand and I gave the answer, not thinking anything of it. I'm like, it's the right answer. What's the big deal? That I just got the worst look from my teachers. It was I didn't know what was going on. I was confused. Did I do something wrong? What did I say? I just said the answer. And then immediately she just sends me down to the principal's office. And I'm 8 years old at the time. And I'm thinking, what did I do? I'm horrified. I'm crying. I just thought I was doing what I was supposed to. Thinking that I am in big trouble. And I didn't know what I did. And my teacher explained the situation, which is probably a bad idea because she already messed up in the first place, as you'll soon find out. And my parents were called in. My mom comes in, and they explain the situation, and then they actually research what I said, what I told you, what I put on the screen before. And that was the right answer. I don't think I ever got a reward for being right in a situation. I should have. Looking back, I should have. But it's just crazy to think about that. The teachers aren't always right. They're humans just like us. I mean, we have this stigma, the stereotype of them where we can never question what they say. They're always right. It's their way or the highway. The story has proved that they can be wrong. Especially when you're in second grade like that, they can still be wrong. That's just, I have no words. I had no words. I don't even remember who the teacher was. And if I did know who the teacher was, I would keep it anonymous. I believe it was a female, though. I would keep them anonymous because I know not everyone wants to be mentioned in a video or in a video. So I like to keep as much anonymity as possible, unless they consent, of course. Unless they say, hey, you can do this. You can say my name in the video. Otherwise, I wouldn't do that. So yeah, remember, if your teacher says you're wrong or you're sure you're right, you could say something. It's within your rights. You know, the First Amendment, freedom of speech. That is the moral of this video. And yeah, that's kind of about it. I made my word back for 2022, and I look forward to making more stuff. I mean, I kind of been almost quarantined again, so I'm sure I'll be making more videos. All right. Take care.